Hey everyone, welcome back. Matt from the Pitti Group, along with my brother Anthony. This is the Finance Things in Life. And today we are going to be talking about college sports, NIL deals, revenue sharing, and we have a special guest, Kaleb Wilson from West Virginia. Welcome back to Rochester, Kaleb. How's everything been?
Thanks for having me. No, it's been a wild ride this summer. I've been all over the place. Started my summer in Atlanta for a couple weeks. Played a U.S. Open sectional there. Played the Dogwood Invitational up there. Then played the Sunny Hannah Amateur in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Quickly after that, played the State Am back home. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, like you said. So played that at one of my home courses. Played the Trans-Mississippi Amateur. That was at the Foul Course in Indiana. Took a plane ride shortly after that to Houston, Texas, and just qualified a few days ago for the U.S. Amateur in San Francisco at the Olympic Club, which is going to be a blast. And then came up here for another awesome year at the Monroe, one of my favorite tournaments of the summer. So thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats on that.
You've been playing a decent amount of golf then.
I know, right?
Plenty.
You ever get tired of it?
No, heck no. Yeah, I mean, at times, yeah, sure.
Yeah. When you're good at it, you probably don't get tired of it. Me, on the other hand,
Right. I
halfway
get
through my round, I'm like, why am I doing this?
Right. If I par the last hole, then I'll play again.
Keep coming back.
Right. Hit one good shot. Be like, all right, I'll come back.
Yep. That's how it works.
It is. It's addicting.
Oh God, it is. Yeah. No, I made an albatross in the second round of the Trans-Miss Amateur to like make the cut on the number.
Oh wow.
Pretty much. And I was like, that's gonna keep me coming back for years.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean,
you talk about that for years.
Oh God, it was unbelievable. And in that group, when I made an albatross, it was funny. Just a quick story. So we were all down there as par 5, probably like 600 yards. We all had like 260 from the middle of the fairway. I go first, make it. The second guy goes, dumps it in the bunker like 45 yards away. And then the third dude goes and hits it to 5 feet.
Oof.
Dude
Wow.
from 45 yards in the bunker holes out.
Jeez.
And then the guy that was like 5 feet for eagle made it. So he went 2-3-3 on a par 5.
That's
600-yard par 5.
That's insane.
Meanwhile,
It's
I'm still trying to get there. Yeah, I shot 15.
Right. It would have been my fourth shot, but I would have got on. Maybe. I would have hit the green. I don't know if I would have stayed on.
Yeah, right. Man, that's awesome. I cannot imagine like albatross on a par 5.
600-yard par 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. How long was your drive?
I don't know. It was kind of down the hill, so probably like a fake 330.
You don't have to say that. It was uphill.
You're right.
330.
Into the wind.
Into the wind, right?
It's cold, snow.
Right. Nice. So a lot of changes with college sports over the last few years. With NIL deals now and now revenue sharing. So any insight on that, or what's your experience with NIL deals so far, or like what you've seen in college sports?
Yeah, sure. I mean, a lot has changed since it was introduced, I guess, a few years ago. From my first year when it was like really not a thing to now, I feel like it's one of the main topics when we're in all our team meetings and with the university and such or whatever, with all the regulations and whatnot. But this year, especially when they passed the revenue sharing and roster limits for Power 4 schools, I go to West Virginia University, so it's a Big 12 school, Power 4 conference, and our roster limit went to 9 players. So had to make a couple cuts, which is really tough. But when it comes to the NIL side of things, we're now fully funded. I mean, don't mark my word on that with the golf team, but I know our university is. So that opens up a lot more scholarships for each team, which is really nice. And the university can actually pay the athletes somewhat directly, which is kind of, instead of like finding loopholes for it, they can just do it, which I honestly think is just more fair.
Yeah.
And you'll see it also, like the SEC is pretty big into it, obviously, with the kind of dominance that they've shown over the past few years. So when it comes to like NIL stuff and deals, like for me in specific, like I don't really have a lot of stuff, but I have a lot of buddies, a few teammates that did. I grew up in Knoxville, so I know a lot of Southern guys, and they go to SEC schools, and they have some pretty good deals.
Yeah.
But really, it's interesting.
Yeah. So for a lot of people that don't know how it works, like how are these athletes getting paid? If they have an NIL deal.
Yeah. So basically, it's just like kind of in pro sports, and basically, if someone approached me and was like, "Hey, we want to give you a deal," I would post on Instagram or wear something, or just basically promote their company with my name, image, or likeness.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would pay me whatever we agree on and direct deposit straight to the bank account.
So I want to imagine, like, I don't want to call them influencers, but I imagine influencers had to have had an impact on that at least. Like, you're basically doing the same thing in that case where, like, you're paying someone to basically post about some certain product or a company or something like that, and you're getting paid off of impressions or just, off the post or something along those lines. If anyone doesn't know, that obviously is not how college sports went a few years ago or 4 or 5 years ago. Players were getting paid signing autographs illegally, getting tattoos for autographs. Was it Reggie Bush? I can't remember. Reggie Bush was getting paid under the table through some kind of loophole. Ended up having to give up his Heisman. Did he ever get it back?
I don't know if he got it back. I think there's been a push
think
to get
he
it back.
did.
He got it
get it
back?
back?
I don't.
He
Don't mark my
should.
word.
I mean,
He absolutely should.
I feel like I saw one of those Heisman commercials with him in it.
oh yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
They probably should have done something about that, like him getting it back during the commercial.
Right.
But there's just so many players whose like careers were like deterred because they were getting paid because the colleges just would not pay them. They were just getting so much revenue off of these players, and no money was coming to them, and it was insane. Like, you couldn't even have your own likeness, but they're making money off of you.
Right.
It's wild.
Yeah, because there's a ton of money in college sports.
It's absolutely insane. I mean, and then you have the other argument where, well, they're getting their education paid for. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, you can get a academic scholarship as well. You're getting your education paid for, but the school's not making money off of your academics, you being a student. They're making money off of you being an athlete. People are paying thousands of dollars to watch you play a sport, or wear your jersey, or watch you play, whatever it is. Yeah, the money in college sports is absolutely unreal. So, not a surprise that it's gone this way. It's a lot of money that's coming in now.
Yeah, and not everyone. I mean, obviously, I'm sure different sports are getting more NIL money than others.
Yeah, how does the revenue share work?
Yeah, so honestly, I'm not like even 100% sure on it. I know like our assistant coach, he went to Maryland, and he said that the Big Ten is really going to put a focus on basketball. So like their basketball program at Maryland is going to be like their main focus of their revenue sharing, like trying to pretty much dump as much money into the program as possible to help try and make it a powerhouse again.
Yeah.
And I think it just kind of goes school to school.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
You look at it like basically a different department of a company. Like, what do you want to focus on, building a new product within your company, or do you want to focus on like sales? So you're going to put more revenue into building a bigger sales team. Basically the same thing, I would imagine. Alabama's going to dump money into their football program. Yeah, that's North Carolina's going to dump into basketball. Maybe football now that Bill Belichick's there.
No, I'm sure they're dumping it.
Right.
That.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows how long
Yeah,
he'll be
who
there,
knows,
but
But yeah, and I'm sure, it allows, some of the sports that might not be as big in certain schools, they're able to take money from, the football program or the basketball program and kind of spread the wealth a little bit.
Sure, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you won't really see golf be that big, but 100%, like I could see a baseball team benefiting pretty heavily off of like a football and basketball team.
Yeah.
I feel like I could see golf getting there. Like, people talk so like, I mean, You watch Scotty Scheffler. He's made how much money this year?
God, ridiculous.
Yeah.
I saw a stat. He made $91 million in career earnings
Yeah.
just from golf tournaments.
It's wild.
Fourth all time.
It's absolutely wild.
Right. Which, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up passing Tiger at some point, just with tournaments, the purses being so much higher than
If he doesn't get arrested in the parking lot of his next tournament again, then
hey, maybe that helped. It's like, give him a little bit of bad boy image.
right.
Maybe that's what he's looking for. He doesn't want to,
But I feel like, now I feel like parents are putting, golf clubs in the hands of their kids at such a young age. Maybe it kind of trickles down from PGA to live to college sports. Now you're going to watch these people kind of come up in college or the U.S. Amateur and follow them a little bit more closely. Maybe that money starts to trickle in a little bit more and just kind of broadens the horizon of kind of where you're watching.
Yeah. Speaking of live, I had something I don't hear about as often, like the live and PGA, battle. And I
feel like people are trying to leave live lately.
Yeah. Have you seen that? I mean, you probably have more insight than us.
Honestly, like, they're always coming out with stuff like, the PJ Tour and the Live are working on the merger or whatever, but I've seen no movement.
Yeah.
And I think it's really split on the Live side, like players wanting to come back and players that really just don't care. Because if you look at the Live, like, there are like pretty much two to three categories of guys over there. You got players that kind of were at the back end of their career that just wanted to make their final huge paycheck and are just...
That's like a generational wealth right there.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and they're not stupid for taking that.
Right.
Like, it's literally just like a raise going into your last few years of your career that'll set you for you and your family for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
There's another set of players that went over there just for the paycheck. John Rahm made $600 million going over there.
Right.
Everybody's got a price.
Right.
But,
and
$600 million.
And how do you turn that down?
That's like your kids,
Right.
kids.
Well,
kids.
think about it. Scotty Scheffler has dominated golf recently, and he's made $91 million. Number 4
in his career.
And he's number 4 all time on that list. And Rahm made
multiplied that by 6.
$600 million just for signing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason I bought my son golf clubs this year.
Right.
That's the reason.
And how about the third group? Like,
the third group is like guys that are just given an opportunity young to kind of start off with some money in their pockets. Like, you'll see like Jose, who won the U.S. Amateur last year, Kaleb Surratt, who went to Tennessee, is a really good amateur. You'll see a few younger guys over there just basically trying to give them some money in the bank account and hoping that it merges eventually.
Yeah.
So definitely a weird niche crowd of people over there, but I think it has grown in popularity over the past few years.
Yeah.
What would you rather do?
I'd rather play on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Why can't I ask that?
You absolutely can.
We'll ask the real tough questions. What
Right.
would you rather do, play in the PGA or the Live?
Not that we're going to hold you to it. Or, you get a phone call from Liv tomorrow.
Right. We were going to offer
Right.
you.
So getting back to NIL deals, like, what are some of the stories or, craziest things you've seen? I got to imagine some of these players are, using it to their advantage to, with the transfer portal and everything else to get more money, more deals.
Absolutely. I have a few different stories, but kind of regarding what you just said, like, I know a few guys that have definitely entered the portal when they've kind of hit their, peak in their game to try and leverage, like, what other schools are offering them to get their school to offer them more money. Just kind of like in the real world with a job, when you get another offer from a different company, like, go back to your boss and, like, this is what they're offering me. Can you match it? What can you do? And it's the same thing in college athletics. I've seen that a few times. I've heard stories. With the golf world, it's not as lucrative, I don't think. But recently I heard a story about a guy that was playing really well for kind of like a Power 4 school, but nothing like a powerhouse.
Right.
And was kind of their guy and entered the portal right when he was playing really well and kind of a weird time in the season. And I mean, I heard numbers of, that school offering him upwards of $1 million plus.
Dang.
For a golfer.
For a golfer, which I don't know if that's exactly true. I heard it through a friend of a friend of Grapevine, whatever. But I mean, if that's at all true,
Even close. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I mean, coming from a guy that's making $0.00, that sounds pretty outrageous.
Right.
I think that sounds really fun.
Right.
No, but definitely, I've heard a lot of different things, and even now, when you're like recruiting players, like if you're getting recruited to a Power 4 school and you're a really top kind of a junior player, like you will get NIL thrown in there with you.
Yeah.
And, like it's a big selling point. I mean, yeah.
Now, do these schools have programs involved that help with the new NIL money? Like, you hear about all the time, professional athletes going broke, 2-3 years into retirement. I think it's a stat like 75% of NFL players end up having some kind of money issue, either going bankrupt or, some kind of financial distress that they end up going through. I just got to imagine like these young kids, they're 18, 19, 20, getting $1 million or whatever it is, even you want to say $500,000, that's a lot of money to someone who's well into their 40s and 50s in some scenario. So are there programs set up for them to kind of handle that, new cash flow and kind of what to do with it, not to spend it, not to blow it at a casino or whatever you end up doing?
A car.
Right, a car, a house,
Well, I mean,
whatever.
a house might not be a bad investment. You think about it,
Yeah.
At least they're buying, it's
Depending
more of
on
an
the
investment,
house, if you're making no money and you buy $1 million house and you can't afford it, then
yeah, the NIL dries up.
then you're selling the house and you got nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think schools are very aware of that. And there are a lot of programs to kind of try and help people. But I really do think when it comes down to it, like the athlete is the one making the decisions.
Right. They're not like forcing them to do it.
No, like if you get paid $1 million, like a dude is not going to be like, all right, you're throwing it in a Roth and you're investing it here and you're buying real estate and all this kind of stuff. When it comes down to it, like the athlete does need to have a decent team around them of people that's going to advise them in a way that's, not only good for the short term, but really good for the long term.
Right.
So,
yeah, because, I mean, although, they are getting all this money at an early age, which, could be a problem, it could also be a blessing. A lot of these athletes, their sports careers, if they make it pro, it might be a short career, and it's a way to kind of get a head start on saving. So having that team in place is probably huge. So I'm assuming we'll probably see more and more of it for schools to offer it.
I mean, I've heard stories of like, players staying and choosing to stay in college now because honestly, they're going to make more money playing in college.
Shador should have done it.
Right.
Quinn Ewers should have done it.
Well, his
jersey's retired.
I mean,
he did.
What was? It was something stupid. I think
Quinn Ewers
was supposed to get
I think like $6-7 million.
Yeah, which is, and then what? He got drafted in the 7th round.
Yeah,
I mean,
he made like a tenth of that.
Yeah, but I mean, if he makes it in the NFL,
go grind it out for a roster spot.
Right, I know that's the crazy part. Right?
Yeah. And then you just go back to your like Shador. I think he'll just return to just making money off his likeness. Like, I mean, I think he's got the #1 jersey sales right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he might not even be a starter.
Right. It was something stupid as far as jersey sales. Like,
it's wild.
$25 million or I don't even remember. It was something insane.
Yeah.
I'm like, for a guy that
was drafted
fourth. Is he fourth on the depth chart right now?
Probably
close to it. Yeah.
I heard something like that, 3 or 4.
Yeah, because they've got
Yeah, Flacco. They got
They got
Kenny
Pickett. They got Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
And then him.
And Deshaun Watson is in there, like, if he can ever come back.
He ain't
Yeah,
coming
you're
back.
Listen, as a Steelers fan, whatever.
He ain't coming back. Yeah. It's wild the amount of money. It is good that they have that in place. Again, I think it's a big part of it is just having a good head on your shoulders. Even you could rely on family, but even family a lot of times doesn't have your best interest in mind.
Right.
You hear those horror stories all the time where a family taking people's money, giving bad advice, you're losing out on money because of a family decision. It's tough.
Yeah. Do you think, when you're getting these NIL deals or the revenue sharing, is it player dependent, or what maybe that player needs is money's going to specific people, or?
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, it's really up to the coach's discretion at a certain point. Like when it comes for like revenue sharing specifically, they know like what they kind of need to do to get players. I think, and it's not really totally fair,
right?
In a sense, like if you're fairly well-off family and you're going into a place like, and the coach kind of knows that, like, I don't even know if that's legal or not.
Right.
But like, to get players, sometimes they'll throw different dollar amounts than probably what you would expect.
Yeah. Let's say you want to go to West Virginia. Your dad's an alum there, and the coach knows that you're probably favoring to go to that school. Maybe doesn't need to throw as much at you as somebody else that he's trying to pull from, Alabama or something.
Sure,
So,
yeah,
That's when
absolutely.
you go to the rival school.
I would never go to Pitt.
Yeah,
never.
You start talking to Pitt, and they give you an offer, and then you got to pin the two against each other.
They can offer me whatever they want, and I will not wear that stupid blue.
Come on. You hear that, Pitt? Let's throw a number.
They might put that on the West Virginia website.
They don't even have a golf team. So
Oh, they are. Right, there we go. How do they not have a golf team there?
That was a great question. I
That
have
is
no
a great
idea.
question.
Right?
I really don't.
Yeah, because I would think Pitt would have it.
They have great golf up
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah,
Yeah, huh?
that's strange. But yeah, getting back to your point from before, I think we got deterred a little bit. If you are smart with your money at an early age, it could set you up for the long term.
Yeah.
If you're I'm not gonna throw out investment advice, but if you're investing intelligently and you're not spending all that money on things you don't need, I do think social media has a huge effect on that. I think people look at social media, especially with college pro athletes, flashing a lot of nice things, and they're like, oh, well, if I show that I've got a lot of money, it'll impress more people that I have a lot of money. Unfortunately, when you buy those things, you no longer have that money.
Right.
So it's kind of the opposite effect. But I do think it can be, especially with like a lot of these pro athletes getting it, generational wealth that you can actually start to develop at a very early age. I mean, who would have thought at 18, 19 you could start building generational wealth?
Right. Yeah. And which is relatively new too, and maybe that's why, kids sports these days, youth sports are becoming bigger and bigger, and parents are pushing their kids to play more youth sports and travel teams and elite travel teams and shelling out all this money. It's in hopes that they can make that that wealth that in college NIL deals or pro sports. But
yeah, I mean, you see a lot of it now. Companies are leaning more away from the brand as far as how you're building your company. It's not so much Nike or Adidas. It's LeBron, it's Tiger, it's Scotty Scheffler, it's these athletes who represents your brand. That's what brings your company to another level. So I think that's the biggest push of these NIL deals, of the money that's getting paid to athletes at whatever rate. It's just what's going to boost it. That's why colleges hopped on board so fast, because well, one, they were begging to get paid, and there was so much controversy around it. But it's just another way of building the brand. It's not that it's, Alabama, but it's whoever's playing at Alabama.
I mean, Kaleb probably doesn't know or remember this because he's so young, but remember when like athletes turned pro and they got drafted, and then it's who are they going to sign with? They're going to sign with Puma, Adidas, Nike, Under Armour. Like that was
huge.
Now it's they can get signed by those.
I mean, they made a
companies
movie
early,
about
right? Essentially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's
probably
for a fraction of the cost too, because there's probably so many athletes. They're just throwing money out to all of them and hope that one
hits,
makes it big.
Yeah.
Like Paul Skeens,
Yeah.
I think that one will hit.
Power couple NIL deal.
Seriously. Jeez.
No kidding.
Crushing it.
Yeah. They do all right. They could listen to y'all's advice.
Yeah.
Hey, Pittsburgh's not far. I'm a Steelers fan. I love Pittsburgh. Let's
Family
go.
from Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Go visit,
Yins?
No, but like with the amateurism and stuff, when it comes to that, like, I mean, getting paid all this money, you almost start to see people like, with the amateurism and stuff, like you start to see people get all this money and they're focusing more on like building their brand versus kind of the love for the sport and playing the game. And I mean, I've not really seen it firsthand, but I've definitely heard stories of people putting too much focus on building their brand instead of just like working on their craft and enjoying the game that they grew up loving and playing. And I think that's kind of a dark side of it a little bit is you start to lose the love that you had, and there's definitely more burnout nowadays because, I mean, it is a job. Like, you're getting paid a ton of money, and, I mean, schools expect you to perform, and it's just like you're working a job. I mean, that's how it is. It's professional sports and college athletics.
Right.
Yeah.
You're as much of a athlete as an influencer, and
Absolutely.
Taking both those, and it's going to take time away from training, and everything else. So, and if you're not performing, you're going to lose those deals, and so I can see it being a vicious cycle.
I like the saying of like, if you've, at least for golfers, it's like good golf takes care of everything. It's like you play good golf, the deals will come. You play good golf, opportunities will open up. Golf is a meritocracy sport. Like, you play well, opportunities and doors will open up. So don't put your focus on the brand building, put your focus on playing good golf, and then everything else will take care of itself. And I mean, I guess it's the same for other sports. I don't want to just say that without knowing it 100%, but like, I think that's just kind of a big thing that, at least if I start running into that, what the approach that I'll take, at least. And I've seen a couple of my friends do that, and they've been very successful doing that.
That's a great clip. That's a great quote right there.
I
think it is true in a lot of instances. I mean, you take care of what your bread and butter is, and the opportunities, the money will come in.
Yeah, focus on what you do best.
Yeah. What? I feel like there's a saying around that, like,
stay in your lane.
Opportunity comes, opportunity finds you while you're working hard, or something along those lines. Continue doing your craft, continue working on your stuff, and the opportunities will come. I mean, look at Kirk Cousins. He's not really like the flashy guy, but he grinds and he makes a good. I mean, he's like Hall of Fame as far as contracts go.
Right.
He makes his money.
Kirk could have stayed dripping.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not, he's not doing all the promotions or social media or anything. He might do a promo for great clips here and there, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think every athlete is different, and every sport's different, and position. I mean, you think about usually the wide receivers are the flashy guys, and quarterbacks seem to be less flashy and quiet, and running backs are the grinders, and
I mean, I look at. I'm a big soccer fan. I always look at like soccer players whenever they get a huge contract or like go to like the big team, and they're out at the clubs or just living their best life, and they kind of forget about what got them there as far as the game goes. And you see them drop off and kind of fall apart after that. I mean, I think that's just continue reiterating kind of what you were saying. It's so easy to kind of forget what got you there, what brought you the success. So, like you said, keep doing what you're doing and the success will follow.
Yeah. Make sure you're investing in yourself.
And investing in your future.
But yeah, so I think what we can kind of pull from this, and what you were saying earlier, is that these athletes at a young age are getting, in some cases, a lot of money. Even if you're getting $50,000, that's a lot of money for 18, 19-year-olds. So
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
That's, as a player, as a college athlete, I mean, if you're getting that, I mean, you're probably looking at some of the other athletes. Well, they're getting, 6 figures or 7 figures. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean,
that's the thief of joy.
Right. So, take that money, be smart about it, because it could set you up for, later in life, because eventually, if you don't turn pro or you don't, your career's cut short, that income's going to dry up.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But, yeah. Anything else you want to leave us with, Kaleb? Or?
Oh man, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming out, and welcome back to Rochester. Good luck this week at the Monroe. And we'll be rooting for you.
Best of luck.
Yeah. And then because we're this year the Monroe, the winner gets an automatic bid to a PGA event for the first time. So
looking forward to having you when that PGA event comes around.
PGA event in Bermuda. So.
Oh yeah.
So Kaleb wins. We're going down.
We're making
Bermuda.
a trip.
Yeah.
Heck yeah! Nice little vacation.
Right. Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks again, Kaleb. Everyone, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Make sure you follow Kaleb, and he's got a fan page.
He's got a fan page as well.
Oh yeah, super important.
Super important. Hey, we got to build up that.
Build up that influence.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna help you with.
Exactly.
Nah, I'm gonna go practice.
There you go. Smart. Good head on his shoulders.
All right. Thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.